The pause between heartbeats, 17-year-old Lena felt like she was drowning in a world that never slowed down. The mornings were a blur of alarms, deadlines, and endless notifications, each one gnawing at her chest like tiny claws. At school, her mind raced ahead, worrying about tests she hadn't even studied for yet. At home, her mother's quiet disappointment and her father's absence filled the spaces where calm should have been. One evening, curled on her bedroom floor with her notebook of scattered doodles and unfinished thoughts, Lena noticed a flyer slipped under her door. Mindfulness Workshop. Finding Calm in Chaos. She laughed bitterly. Calm. That word felt foreign, but something inside her, a small, desperate whisper, told her she had nothing to lose. The first session was awkward. Lena sat cross-legged, her hands shaking slightly as the instructor's voice guided her through breathing exercises. Focus on your breath. Feel it in your chest. Notice it. Let it exist without judgment. Her mind rebelled immediately. Thoughts barreled through her head. The unfinished math homework, her friend ignoring her texts, the gnawing fear that she was falling behind in life. Notice it, the instructor said gently, and then let it go. Lena's chest felt tight, but she forced herself to breathe. In, out, in, out. Slowly, the noise in her mind dimmed, like clouds parting to reveal a small patch of blue sky. For the first time in months, Lena realized she wasn't her thoughts. She was the space between them, the quiet place that had always been there but she had never paid attention to. Days turned into weeks, and Lena practiced daily. She learned to pause before reacting, to acknowledge the storm inside her without being consumed by it. Arguments with her mother no longer ended in tears and slammed doors. They ended in quiet understanding. Panic before exams became a series of slow, deliberate breaths rather than a crushing weight. But the real change came unexpectedly. One rainy afternoon, Lena walked home from school, soaked through her chest tight with sadness over an argument with her best friend. Normally, she would have rushed home, slammed her door, and spiraled into anxiety. But this time, she stopped under the dripping branches of a maple tree. She closed her eyes and inhaled the wet, earthy air. She felt the rain on her skin, the rhythm of her heartbeat, the pulse of life around her. And for the first time, Lena didn't need to fix anything. She didn't need to escape. She simply existed. In that moment, the world didn't feel like a relentless tide trying to pull her under. It felt alive, messy, and terrifying, but also beautiful. And she could breathe through it. Lena smiled softly, wet hair plastered to her face, and realized that mindfulness hadn't just given her commit, had given her herself back. If you want, I can also create an even more intense, cinematic version where Lena's discovery of mindfulness comes after a crisis, making the emotional shift even more dramatic and heart-wrenching. This could be like a short story ready to hook readers in a single sitting.